Okay, there we go. A special good evening to everyone. We want to especially welcome you to tonight's webcast. Welcome to Discover Kangen Water. My name is Solomon James, and I'll be your anchor. And we have a very beautiful lineup of things to share tonight, and we trust that it will be worth your time that you'll be exchanging with the knowledge that we have to put out. So please fasten your seatbelt, put out all distractions, and let's go. First, what's in your water? We drink water every day. We consume all forms of liquid. But again, the question tonight is, what do you think you are drinking? For tonight, we're about to expose what they don't want us to know about our drinking water, and not just expose this. More importantly, is to find a solution to these problems. Now, we've identified 5 problems. There may be more, but we'll be focusing on 5 problems. Number one is that most of our water, the water we drink, they are acidic. Two is that there are harmful contaminants found in our everyday drinking water. And there are a lot of pesticides in our fruits and our vegetables, and these things are impacting our health. And we are not absorbing our water properly, even for those that think they are drinking water. And number 5 is that there is danger looming because plastic water bottles are destroying our planet. And like they will say in the news, now the details. What we found out is to be able to address these 5 problems, we've been able to partner with a 50-year-old company who been setting the standard for the last 5 decades to be able to resolve these listed problems. Well, the company is called Energic. Energic is a Japanese company that manufactures medical grade Kangen water machines, providing healthy therapeutic water for our everyday use. Now, Energic does not sell water, please do not. Energic is into the manufacture of medical grade water machines and to help every one of us in our homes. Well, this is one of the devices that they produce. This is an example of a Kangen water machine. We also have another model, and this is actually our flagship product. We call it the SD501, which is actually a state-of-the-art technology helping to produce 5 types of water. Now, this machine produces what we call Kangen water, clean water, beauty water, strong Kangen, and strong acidic. In terms of pH, there are 7 pH range. The drinking range is 8.5, 9.5. You might want to start from the 8.5 and go to the 9.5 if you feel it's impacting you rapidly. You may want to slow down or choose the appropriate pH level that is working for you, but we'll throw more light on that. Your clean water from elementary school, we do know, is a pH of 7, which is neutral. This same machine produces what we call beauty water, and the pH for this is between 4.5 to 5.5, water for the skin. Then we have the strong Kangen water, which is 11.5, and our strong acidic water, which is 2.5. Now let's go into details so that you get to know these types of water, the various pH, and perhaps how it might help in applying to the 5 listed problems we had stated earlier on. Now we're about to show you not just about water, but for you to understand that there is more to your water than meets the eye. Problem number 1 that we identified was that our water, they are acidic. A lot of us are drinking acidic water and we think it's good enough. How do we get to know this? Because when your body's pH goes into the acidic side, it breeds sicknesses. A lot of damage is being done. We are seeing, as a result of the acidic waters, enzymes that are constructive can become destructive. Microbes in the blood can change shape and mutate and even become pathogenic. Organs of the body can become compromised, like your brain or even your heart. Oxygen delivery to the cells can also suffer. We've seen mineral assimilation dropping. Basically, if you are following things, you are aware that illness and diseases thrive in acidic terrain. So we are seeing symptoms of acidosis, and we are seeing the impact, how it's impacting the central nervous system. Lots of headache, sleepiness, confusion, loss of conscience, even coma. It's impacting our respiratory system. People are having shortness of breath. People are having prolonged coughing. Even your heart rate is increased. Your muscular system is also impacted. So there's a lot of the damage of acidic water to our health, as you can see in the screen, on the screen. So what we want to do here is to intentionally find a way to move from the acidic range to the alkaline range. Because like we just mentioned, a lot of our foods, they're acidic. A lot of our drinks, they're acidic. But we want to move technically to the right side, where we begin to have a lot of alkaline fruits, a lot of alkaline drinks, meals that are alkaline, and things that can help the body in that light. Now, this is Dr. Otto Warburg, who discovered the real cause of cancer in 1923. Now, he's a Nobel Prize winner. But in his work, The Metabolism of Tumors, he was able to demonstrate back in 1923 that all forms of cancers are characterized by two basic conditions. One, what he calls acidosis, and lack of oxygen, which is hypoxia. Now, while we are consuming these acidic things, we do not know that they are harming us. But much more so is that cancerous tissues are acidic, healthy tissues are alkaline. Now, it's being said diseases don't thrive in alkaline environment. In alkaline environment, but they just flourish in acidic environment. You want to make sure you dilute that acidity as much as possible. Now, let's take a walk into a lab for you to understand how this works. Because as we know scientifically, 70% of the human body is water. But imagine 70% of your body now becoming acidic. That's damage to your health. But how do we alkalize our water? Our next review will tell you how. Because when we put in our Kangen machine allows your water to come from your tap and runs into the machine, and the machine has its own filter. And as it comes out of the internal filter, it comes into a body of pure platinum titanium plates. Using the process of electrolysis, your water is now ionized, your water is now converted. Now, this machine has two outlets, one which is at the top, and there is another hose at the bottom. The top hose with a flexible pipe produces Kangen water and strong Kangen water. Now, the lower secondary hose will give you acidic water or strong acidic water, depending on what you were requesting for. So it's very, very important we understand how this works. So this is the solution to be able to help convert our acidic water into a much more beneficial water for our health. Now, let's show you how that plays out. Now, these are different bodies of water. All we want to show is the impact if they are alkalized, and that's a pH tester. Now, what we want to do is just put a drop of this pH tester liquid into the water, and you see the colors of the waters have been revealed. Okay, you can see some of them very yellow, some of them light blue, some of them, look at the last one, very, very purple. Again, this is the pH scale chart, and you want to move from the acidic side to the alkaline side. Now, the word Kangen simply means back to origin, and Kangen helps the body to bounce back. So this is Kangen water being poured in. You can see, look at this acidic content. It breaks it, neutralizes it, raises the body to become premium. Take a look at this Fiji bottled water. Look at what the Kangen water is helping to do. Take a look at this other Evian water. Look at what the Kangen water is helping to do. Take a look at our soda drinks that are part of the acidic consumptions. But can you see, pouring enough, nothing is changing. How bad can it get? And yet we have people drinking 2, 3, 4, 5 of these daily. Hey, just a cup of this soda drink, a sip, can put your body in a reverse. Now you can see just a cup acidifies the body, and yet people are dumping in lots of liters of this every single day. You are impacting your health negatively. So from what we have seen, the problem number one is that most of our water, they are acidic, but now there is a solution, and with that solution, we can turn our water from being acidic to become alkaline using the process of electrolysis. Problem number two was that harmful contaminants are increasingly now being found in our water. It's a concern if you do not know, because what's in your glass of water? People just think, oh, it's clear, it's colorless, it's odorless, it's tasteless, and you are good to go. Unknown to many people, with their glass of water, again, we live in a society where you are your government. Many of us were the one drilling our boreholes, and people are drinking their borehole water. Some of them has lots of things in there. Radioactive contaminants are there. Imagine those on the Niger Delta belt with all the oil spillage, and the aquifer is actually corrupted, and you are drilling. What do you think you are taking in? A lot of pesticides, nitrates, hormones, fluorine compounds, calcium, okay, chromium, lead, pharmaceutical drugs, aluminum, and other names that we may not even be able to spell out. So people don't know their water has lots of contaminants. According to DataFight, that over 70% of the water Nigerians consume, they are contaminated. It's scary. It's scary, really, really scary. Okay? And people are not paying attention to this. Well, it was Fela that sang "Water Don't Get Enemy." But again, we are seeing the outbreak of cholera, and that simply means water has an enemy, because if your water is contaminated, you have an enemy to contend with. Now, take a look at what you are seeing on your screen. Look at the guy on the ground. I mean, I was just talking about the Niger Delta, the oil spillage and the rest. What do you think is what is happening to the aquifer down there? There's a lot of things. People don't have clean water. And for those of us that even have the water that looks clean, it looks clean, but it's not clean because there are lots of contaminants in there. So how do we address this? What's the solution? The solution is through proper filtration. Now, it's not your everyday filter that takes care of some of those things. But remember, we talked about that we partnered with this Japanese company that produces this device. And this device has a superior, very powerful filtration system inside the machine. Now, it has its own filter. Now, as your water comes in through your tap and comes in into the machine, first, before passing through the plate, it goes into the filter. And this filter is calibrated, having calcium sulfite, antibacterial granular activated carbon, and mechanical filters to be able to purify this water. So when it purifies and traps some this contaminant, it now passes that through into the electrolysis chamber, where that pure titanium platinum plate helps to now turn this water into medical grade water. So as a result of this proper filtration, we have over 10 contaminants being removed. We are seeing lead particulate removed. We are seeing lead dissolved removed. We are seeing copper removed. We are seeing barium. We are seeing arsenic, inorganic. They are also being removed. Cadmium is removed. Chromium is removed. Hydrogen sulfide is removed. Mercury is removed. Your iron is removed. Chlorine is removed. Rust, sediment. A lot of things are removed. Now, some of us go get some of this sediment filter, 5 micron, 1 micron. Do they take care of lead and barium and copper and chlorine? No, they don't. And for you, oh, I filtered my water. This is a better way to go to be able to handle these things. And this particular filter is even certified by the National Science Foundation in the US and the American Standard Institute. So we are seeing a lot of things that this filter is helping to do when we use it as part of our purification process. Now, we encourage you, because I've gone to places and I see them just run their water straight into the machine. We strongly recommend you even have pre-filters, because for some of us, your overhead tank has not been even cleaned in the last 10 years. Some person in the last 1 year, the overhead tank of your borehole has not been, so you now see a lot of sand coming into the faucet of tap head of in your kitchen. That's to tell you a lot of damage is coming in. So we do some pre-filters, sediment filters, some people add calcium, carbon filters, some people then we add the mineral filters to help with the ionization and boost the pH of your water before all of this now comes into the machine, that the machine also goes through a lot of filtration process. So anyone actually drinking out of the Kangen wash machine, you're actually drinking a lot of, you're actually doing a lot in helping to take care of the water and make sure whatsoever you take is very, very pure and clean and clear enough for your use. I hope that is clear. So problem number one with acidic water is solved. Problem number two with the contaminant is solved. But there's still danger lurking because lots of pesticides are now found in our fruit and our vegetable with the increasing growth of GMO products. Now, for many of us, we know we go to the malls, we go to the market, we buy produce, and we see them glossy, they are shiny, we think they are fresh. No, a lot of them are pesticides, preserved. But hey, will you blame the farmers? The farmer wants to preserve his crops, so he sprays them with oil pesticides to keep away the insects and all the things that will destroy so that he can multiply his profit. But while that is happening, you bring your produce home, you wash them, you think, oh, it's so good, it's clean, and as long as you wash it, rinse it with your tap water. And for many of us, even the tap water itself contains chlorine, and the chlorine is getting back into the produce because, again, I hope you know it's not helpful to the body. One day we'll run a test for you to see how this impacts your health negatively. So how do we resolve this? Again, remember we said our Kangen machine helps to take care of this. Now, like we said, the machine produces 5 types of water. One of the water that helps for this is the strong Kangen water 11.5, helping to keep your produce clean and safe for your family. Now let's go into the lab and show you quickly how this works out. So here we have our sesame oil, okay? It could be any oil. It could be your anointing oil, Goya oil, whatever oil you use. So we put this oil into 2 different containers and we take our tap water and we pour in. Now, basically, elementary science will tell you that oil and water don't mix. So as you take a look, what do you see? You see that the oil is floating. So it's correct. But we take our 11.5 and we also pour it into the same glass of oil. Ladies and gentlemen, what you see here is not kunu. This is emulsification. Water is breaking oil. So again, for people with cholesterol and oily body, taking this water, a few glasses a day, can also help out in mopping out that oil and serving your health right. But this is cherry tomatoes. We're applying this again to our fruit and our vegetables, how we wash them. So we use our tap water here again. We use our strong Kangen water 11.5. So let's see how this helps out in taking out the chemicals that are on these things. Now, as many of us will know, when you wash your fruit and vegetables, to be certain that it's clean, you rinse it. When you rinse it, there are particles. We keep rinsing until we feel it's clear enough. From what we've done, I think this water is clear. It looks good. You might start consuming that produce and for the intended purpose. But hold on, we are using the one from 11.5. Same fruit, different water. Now we are seeing this. This is pesticides. This is herbicides. This is the chemical produce that was on these tomatoes. Now, question, if I were to give you this greenish, yellowish solution to drink, you say, God forbid, I will not drink it. But if I'd given you the first fruit, which was washed with that tap water, and it came out clean, you would have collected it. Now, unknown to you, what you are rejecting was on it. So are you actually safe? No. Why you are rejecting it is still on it. Now, some of us might have gone home and bought all of this and say, you know what, blend these tomatoes. I want to have my smoothie. I want to have my juice extract and all of that. And all of this is being blended. And ladies and gentlemen, that greenish, yellowish poison is all in that fruit. So you are seeing a lot of vegetarians also coming down rapidly with chronic health diseases, because for vegans, your health should also even be improved, okay? Staying away from a lot of meat and all of this and eating vegetables and greenish things. It's helpful to the body, but again, not with these poisons in here. Now, why is this the problem because when we take these things home, the farmers did not tell us how to remove it. And your water does not remove it. You add salt, it does not remove it. This is the way around it. So problem number one, we found a way around it. We can alkalize our water using a Kangen water machine. Number two, the harmful contaminant. Now we have the 11.5 pH water out from our Kangen machine, can take care of that. And problem number three, the pesticides. Okay, again, and fruit water can also be taken care of. All right. So let's go to number four. A lot of us are drinking water, but it seems as if we're not absorbing our water properly, because today I see people take just 50 cl bottle water, 75 cl bottle water, they look bloated. They can finish it. I had some friends come around yesterday and they were just shocked because I gave them the water and they were just drinking and drinking and drinking. It was so obvious what's happening here. We're just drinking and drinking because it looked as if this is a totally different type of water. So what were they drinking before? Our regular water cluster is very heavy. Because it's heavy, it's macro. It does not absorb easily into the cell. Now, the regular water cluster is 15 to 20 molecules. Because they are large, absorption is limited. But you see, your Kangen water coming out from this medical device is very micro. It's 5 to 6 molecules. And because it's micro, it allows greater penetration into the body. And absorption is very, very fast. So we see people just drinking and drinking and drinking. I just had a call while I was having this. There's a lady that came to see me today. And she was just drinking the water. And I said to her, are you getting bloated? She said, no. She took another chunk and she's not getting bloated. Why? This water within 10 seconds is already at the cellular level. It's hydrating you at the cellular level. And listen, health begins from the cell. Well, let's save the talk. Let's take you into the lab and show you how this works out. So here we have our green tea. We want to use this as, because we always want to draw analogies and show people. So it serves like our cell, if things can be absorbed appropriately or not, even the food we eat, the drinks we take. So you see two types of water, the same tea. Can you see just in a second, that of the Kangen water is already permeating into the bag and drawing out the value. That's how you are going to get health. Look at the other one, nothing had changed. In case you think this was a special tea bag that we use with the Kangen water, no. Let's take an extract of this. So let's say this is your supplement. This is the food you are eating. Let's see if your water can help maximize it or max it for your benefit. Now, the same extract, two types of water. One is diluting the extract. One is making another thing practically before your eyes. This is what this Kangen water is doing. So let's say the first one we do was maybe your very expensive supplement to increase your health, but unknown to you, the water you are taking is diluting that supplement. So imagine for those of us who now probably you want to take your medications and you even go and consume a lot of soda drink during or after, you are acidifying the body. You're not going to help your body. Oh, I want to eat my best meal. I want to eat my pankoko, dikangikom, oha, ofe nsala onugbo, abacha, whatever you want to eat, you're a wedu, and you are done, you say, oh, make we wash and down, and you grab a bottle of the soda drinks, you just poison your meal. And you said, okay, they say we should take water. Unknown to you, your water is diluting it. This is hydration at its best. So what have we seen? Problem number one, acidic water can be solved. Problem number two, harmful contaminants. We can take care of that with the filtration method in the machine. Problem number three, with the 11.5 strong Kangen water, this can now be resolved. And problem number four, because of the microclustering property of this water, we can begin to absorb our water properly. Number five is becoming a menace because everywhere you turn around, you turn to, there are bottled waters. scattered on our streets. Offices are stacked with bottled waters. Yes, a few persons are trying to see how they can recycle this, but this is really destroying our planet. So our call is for you to stop plastic pollution, be a part of the solution and not be a part of the problem. Because for some of us, how many bottled water did you buy today? Where's the plastic? You throw them out there, and now you are contaminating the earth. Well, according to the Container Recycling Institute, 57 billion plastic water bottles were found in the ocean. This is frightening. 57 billion plastic bottled water. Now, don't you think this is impacting our ecosystem? Well, Ocean Crusader will report that over 1.1 million marine animals are dying every year from plastics. Now, when you see the people in Niger Delta complaining about their aquatic life dead, most of those ones that even survive, I mean, listen, if you've done safety in the Niger Delta, you understand. Some of those things you eat after people are developing a lot of health challenges because of those carbon and all those things, heavy minerals, heavy metals that has gone into some of this marine life. Not talk of with the plastic water we're contaminating in the more. Now, how do we solve it? Because it's not about us stating the problem, but with our machine right now, you are part of the problem because we are not dispensing into plastic bottled waters. At best, you have a machine that you can always walk to anytime, and you fill in your drinkable, BPA-free bottled water. Now, we drink our plastic water, we throw them away. But hey, I have a BPA bottled water that I can fill, and anytime I go back, I fill it again. So how many plastic bottle waste am I contributing to society? Zero. You are part of the problem. Now, if for many of us that are following the news, a couple of weeks ago, it was discovered that they are finding nanoplastic right now in human urine and feces. That's dangerous for the next generation because these plastic bottles, how soon do you think they disintegrate? Some of them might take 100 years. So the aquifer is being poisoned. This is a way out, and we are glad that we're a part of it. So let's recap for those who didn't join us early enough. Well, we stated that our water is being acidic, but hey, today we have a way out with our Kangen water machine. We can solve that and alkalize our water. With all the harmful contaminants found in our water, we have a superior filtration system to take care of that, removing over 10 contaminants and more. With the everyday pesticides used to preserve fruits and vegetables now becoming poison, as many of us will know, even your beans are being preserved with snipers. But now, with 11.5, these pesticides and dangers lurking around our fruits can be taken care of. When you are thirsty and you are taking in your water and it's not quenching your thirst because it leaves you rather heavy, lethargic, and just bloated. No, now we can solve that with the micro-clustering capabilities of our Kangen water. Problem number 4 is fixed. And again, why be a part of the problem when you, with your Kangen machine, can take care of this menace that is spreading everywhere? So a lot of people are drinking this water, a lot of people. And it's exciting to find out that this company, been around for 50 years, has presence in 26 countries and 43 locations servicing the rest of the world. So every day, people are coming in contact, and with the platform like this, which we run every week, online, offline, and the people who invited you, we are reaching out so that we can change the narrative so that more people will drink this water. In fact, somebody who I gave the water yesterday, when they followed me home, And we said, the water is different. This is tasting different, because I gave them in the office before we got. We said it's tasting different. That's the story. That's why we are sharing this. But beyond this, if all this machine did was simply to help you make alkalized water for your family, even for the next 3 decades, what is that worth to you? Now, how many bags of pure water did you buy this week? How many did you buy last month? What's the worth of your, and everything is going up. So calculate your bag of pure water. I was reading last week on Facebook, and a lady was ranting that the way the children are devouring bags of pure water a day, 1 bag is gone. She has about 4 kids. This one will take about four sachet water. The other one will take another 4, 5, the ones they will waste, and all of that. So if that happens daily, accumulate that for a week, accumulate that for a month, accumulate that for a year. And yet you are taking water that is not alkaline. You are taking water that will still bloat you. You are taking water that is not pesticides free. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got to understand what will it be worth to you if this is what the machine could do? If all this machine did was to remove your harmful contaminants and pesticides from your water and your foods, what will it be worth to you? If all this machine did was to save you and your family from frequenting the hospital, because like we said, some persons have retainership with pharmacies and some of the hospital, what will it be worth to you? Do you know how much people are spending right now on their health? You don't want to go take a visit in the hospital. You'll be shocked. It's alarming. What will it be worth to you? Well, I know people who say they will pay even as high as $15,000 for their machines without hesitation because they've seen the worth. Some other person said, well, $10,000 will maybe even better. The good news is that it's not even close to that, because you can get a Kangen water machine shipped to your doorstep this very week. Yesterday, we got someone who might be on this call, Peace, Joseph Udo. She was on the call on our last call. And the day before yesterday, she just said, hey, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I want my machine. So by yesterday afternoon, I just sent her a message. I said, your machine is ready for pickup. You can get your Kangen water machine shipped to your doorstep this week. Again, for as little, for our arcade, we call this the K, this is a superior end product. It's a touchscreen device, and it speaks 8 languages, produces about 6 liters of water per minute, has a global switch. You can take it to any country to switch to their power voltage, whether it's 120 or 110 or 220 or whatever. Very, very powerful. This machine has 8 solid pure titanium plates in it. Ionization is, this is just a high-end product. But hey, for just 6,235,000 naira, somebody said, what? That's expensive. Okay. Hold on. Let's even imagine. Imagine what it would feel like for you not to renew that expensive prescription drug. Like I said, do you know how much people are spending on their drugs? I shared a story of a man that I went to go and meet, and who had spent 84 million naira on his health, kidney transplant, and all of that. And when he drank this water 3 months, everything reversed. Everything. He invited me to come to the church and speak to their church board. He invited me to come to his CDA, the premium place in Alausai in Lagos, very close to the government house. When somebody brings you into a place like that, now that person knows what he's talking about. He knows his experience. What about the side effects? And you think for somebody who has spent 84 million naira, 6-point-something million. And now, I was talking to some persons yesterday. I said, interestingly, all the medications and every expense made was only for him. No family member could take his medication. And you spent 84 million naira for one person. And yet, spending 6,235,6,235,000 for the entire lineage, your entire family to partake, your church, your monks, your friends, your enemies, and you think that is expensive? Your math is not correct. Let's even imagine, how will you feel if you had more energy? How will you feel if you had less pain? How will you feel if you finally lose that weight? What will it feel like for you to feel healthy again? I hope you know when you are well, when you get your health back, you know your taste bud will tell you, your energy will tell you, your rest, the way you spring up, you will know. What is that to you? Well, perhaps you might go for our SD501, our flagship product, which is going for 4,837,500 naira. Now, listen to me. I encourage you, please make sure you pay into the company's account. Pay into the company's account. Don't transfer your money to anybody. Times are challenging right now. People might want to just use your money and pay Bet Niger so that they can double it and buy their own machine. Then you have stories. Someone might just use it to urgently want to solve. No, please pay into the company's account so that you are certain this is legit. What if I don't have all the money at once? Can I pay little by little? Yes, you can. I have 1,000,000 naira. I can pay it in there. That's what the last person that purchased a machine yesterday did. Oh, she had first one, she paid 837,500. She paid just the fraction of the top. She paid 300 and something thousand, then paid 500 and something thousand, then balance the rest. Another person paid 1,000,000 naira, came back and paid 2,000,000 naira because you just want that money out of your hand. If it's with you, somebody can just go with an emotional trauma and an explanation, and it looks as if you don't help, your conscience is dead. You've already locked it in your machine, and perhaps if it's health related, they can come back and drink from the machine. So again, this is the company's account. We encourage you to pay in there. Like I did mention, some of you might be thinking, that's a lot of money in a time like this, in a time when we have, no, let me not go that route. Our minds are running fast of the challenges and the weight on many homes. That's a lot of money. So it seems. Well, I'd like to take you through the wall of Dr. Michael, who is a medical doctor, who thought this was expensive until he had a challenge with his little baby. Take a listen.
Because of what it did for my daughter. What happened? Basically, my daughter Skylar was born back in May of 2009 with a severe case of gastroschisis. She was literally born inside out. That's Skylar, the day she was born. When this happened, we were just completely devastated, and we didn't know what to do. And so we just hung on for dear life. And here's a picture of Skylar literally hanging onto my finger. It was really tiny. At which point I decided that I was going to step up to the plate, and I promised her that whatever it took, I would do. And short of moving heaven and earth, if I could, I would. Here she was hooked up to all of the equipment. She went through 2 different colostomies and a resection. She was in the hospital for a year and a half, full year, 2 weeks shy of her first birthday, actually. Then when she came home, she was on feeding tubes, feeding forks. That's where it actually goes right straight through the stomach. And we would force feed her. Say that it was overwhelming was an understatement. We thought once we finally brought her home with 100 hours a week of home health care, unbelievable. Some of our trials had just begun. With acute dehydration syndrome, you can have a good day, and then the body just shuts down and it almost excretes water. And this is her just a few hours later after we had revived her at the hospital. Well, that happened, and I called Scottish Rite, and I was stunned when the emergency room doctors met me at the valet from the Children's Hospital and took her out of the car. At that moment, I knew this was a bad deal. Triage is the way that they rank mortality rates and who's got the worst wounds. Well, if you have an emergency room doctor taking your child out of the car, that's a really bad day. When that happened, I became a hydration expert by default. We tried waters, water filters, ionizers, nutrition, alkaline water machines, alkaline water ionizers. I have been through the gamut of them. I have personally owned and used more than 8 different water machines. I ended up with heavy metal issues, corrosion, a lot of mold in my whole family, and that's where I became an opponent of alkaline water ionizers. To say that we were having a rough time with Skylar is a bit of an understatement. She was on force feed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. She had liquid stools constantly. Every morning was literally a nightmare. So it was a rough time for us. And then there was Amy and her SD501. It was kind of funny. She came into my office on October 12th and she's like, oh, you got to try our water. It's different. And as God would have it, fate would have it, whatever, Amy was laying on the table when we got the bad news about Skylar. Her test results had come back in and she had failure to thrive, anemia, blood in the stool, poor fat and protein metabolism. She was basically a failure to thrive. And Amy pipes up and says, Dr. Michael, Skylar doesn't have to suffer because you're too stubborn to try the water. Give it to you for free. Not the thing to say to a parent who's tried as much as we have. I said, look, I'm done arguing with you this. Bring me your water. I'll give it to her. I'll cross my T's. I'll dot my I's. In 30 days, when we run these tests, I'll prove to you that it doesn't work. So end of the day, I took it home, handed it to my wife and said, here's the water for Skylar. It's from Amy. Just let her try it. And I explained what was going on. And we didn't really have anything else to do or try because we had been doing everything else. There was nothing else left. There was no stone unturned. And within 4 short days, I was eating crow for breakfast and needed some water to wash it down. Amy had given us the water on a Thursday, and on Monday, the charge lasted 3 or 4 days. But in that 4 days, 80% of her symptoms were gone. The belly had softened up, the smell had started to dissipate, the cramping was gone, the bowel sounds were gone. In fact, in 10 days, I was shaving, and I heard her scream and say that there was a snake in the bathroom, and I went running. And it was her first solid bowel movement. She actually thought that a snake had crawled out of her belly. 6 months after that, we removed all the feeding ports, which was just mind-boggling. Why I personally feel the SD501 is the best. I tried either more alkaline water ionizers. Bottom line is it worked for Skylar. Was it the water? Yeah, because it was the only thing left to try. The short answer is it produces 7 types of highly bioavailable water. It is already endorsed by thousands of hospitals and thousands of doctors and used in hospitals all over the world. The drinking water it creates has high levels of hydrogen, oxygen, and antioxidant. It can also be used for FDA-level disinfecting, cleaning, food prep, and cosmetic. Within 6 months, this was Skylar, little ballerina. It's hard to believe that 6 months prior to these pictures, she was on feeding tubes. And there she is today. So why the water? Well, the difference between the healthiest person and the sickest person is basically broken down into 2 parts. Your muscles, ligaments, bone, organs, tissues, minerals, all these things add up to 28% of the patient person. The other 72% of every person on the planet is just water. What we found out is not all water is equal. God would say that Daddy kept his promise to move heaven and earth. And we've used this to try and help everybody else understand that they need to just give it a try. Bottom line is, it is the best machine that I have found. The only thing that I think may rival that is the Kangen 8, which has 8 plates. I've used it. It's phenomenal. We recommend it a lot.
Bottom line, this is the best machine on the face of the planet. Emi said to Dr. Michael, he said, don't let your stubbornness make Skylar to suffer. But hey, for a father who is a medical doctor, who had done everything, he had gotten over 8 types of machines, filtrations, and all, so he believed it wasn't going to work. But thankfully, when the news came about the downturn of the health of Skylar, Emi was there. And according to Dr. Michael, like you heard, he said, hey, he was going to prove that this was not going to work. And he said to the mother, administer the water. 4 hours. 4 hours. 80% of the symptoms were gone. 10 days, things were changing. 6 months down the line, a little girl was back to her ballerina dance class and all of those. What happened? What did it change? Just the water. Now, this is from Dr. Shinya. When you have inflammation, it's a feedback. You are sick. 3 months drinking the water, all of that is totally cleared. This is chronic constipation. 45-year-old lady not drinking enough water and getting so much constipated. 3 months drinking the water, what is happening? You can see everything is reversed, so transformed. Chemotherapy, this is even a case of a prostate. As those of us as men, once 40 and above, please begin to watch your prostate. Go check, do your check. Once your PSA is above 5, it's something you need to pay attention to. But even with chemo done, even with radiation and all of that, Wasn't getting better. 3 months drinking the Kangen water. All of this are captured on video. Everything was reversed, and this is history. We share the story of Madam Titi every week. 6 chemos down, counting days to go. And somebody said, why don't try Kangen water? In our frailness, in our weakness, because I knew the first day she stepped into the facility, frail looking, pale looking. And all we did was give her the water. 24 hours later, she was all smile. Why? Her palpitation for the first time had ceased, sleeping for the first time without palpitation as a result of the toxicity and all the things that has been put into her body. 5 weeks down the line, her hair was growing, all the patches and mark of the chemo and everything was receding. And she was just, what is this? 4 months down the line, she walked into the hospital. The doctors checked her and they said, what did you take? She said, what's the problem? They said, you have no history of cancer, past, present, or future. And somebody think this a fluke. We have too many testimonies, diabetes, BP related, different kind of things. But I tell people, listen, guys, all the water does is to empower your body for your body to heal itself. So somebody, oh, can Kangen water heal this? No, Kangen water does not heal. Kangen water does not cure. One of the many benefits is that it empowers your body and your body can fight for itself, as we'll be hearing shortly. We have, like we said, we have other types of water. The 2.5 strong hypochlorous acid, very helpful, serving as a disinfectant. In about 30 seconds, it kills 99.999% of all germs, E. coli, mold, and bacteria, and all of those kind of things. People are using it. You can use it for psoriasis. We're having lots of testimonies around this. This is a male nurse. Okay, with this condition, 11 years they couldn't fix it. This is just 60 days with the 2.5 pH water. So again, please, if you're a guest or you're watching this, somebody send this to you. Meet with whoever send this to you, and based on what is they will recommend, which is suitable for you to help your body get back to work. Suzanne couldn't smile, now Suzanne can smile again. That is the desire of this project. So this is what I've got to say before we change the order. Don't wait until something bad happens before you change your water. Don't wait until something bad happens before you change your water. Don't wait until your loved one is gone. Don't wait. In fact, I've had people who've encountered those and they say, oh, I wish I knew about this 3 months ago. I wish I knew about this 2 months ago. I wish I had this even last week, would have given it a trial. Giving it a trial. All that changed Dr. Mike's and saved the daughter was just, after all the stubbornness, let's just try it. Let's just try it. And now Daddy kept his word to move heaven and earth to save the daughter. Don't let something bad happen to the next person you love, or even if you hate them, keep them alive. So we like to say to you that this is the best gift for your family, which is on sale. Anything that has to do with your health is not an expense, it's an investment. Whether you are going for the SD501, you are going for the K8, it's priceless, okay? This machine lifespan is over 30 years, 5-year warranty. It's a medical device. We have other range of product that whosoever invited you may be able to help you to choose the one that suits your status, your need, and all of that. Please get back to the person that invited you to watch this, and they can guide you appropriately. Now, let's spend the next few minutes to show you how you can turn your water to wine. Oh, sorry, how to turn your water to wealth. But first, Warren Buffett will say that whatever you like to do, you make it a hobby. Whatever the world likes to do now, you make it a business. It's interesting because the Energic model has a portion for this, allowing you to transform your water to wealth. Now, understand first that anyone who drinks water is a prospect. So again, whether you are sick or you are healthy, you will still drink water. If you are rich, you are poor, you still drink water. Oh, I can't afford the machine today, but I can still drink water. So there are provisions for you to drink the water, even though you cannot afford the machine today. The company is 50 years old and counting, so it's not on trial. It's not something new. If you are new on this call, it's not something 5 decades in the making. And you know the Japanese, They do things with longevity in mind. So this business model, there's no monthly qualification, there is no stocking, there is no loading, there's no inventory, no annual renewal. There's accumulative sales, there's international brothers sponsoring. What blew my mind is that the compensation plan has not been changed in 30 years. It's patented never to change. It blew my mind. Things are changing rapidly in the world, but the business has created a structure and a model that can stand the test of time, and they have. Because one thing you must got to know, in 50 years, Energy has not shut down one market. Energy has not shut down one office in 30 years. How many companies do you know have kept to that? For the first time in the US in 21 years, they just increased price in the month of August in 21 years. How were they holding off the inflation of 21 years? You must be a big brother to be able to do that. So understand what we are talking about here is not your average everyday multi-level marketing. Oh, go bring to who, bring to who, bring to. It's a good structure. Everything have their good, bad, and ugly, depending on those who are running on it, who are running it. But we run a direct sales model. So you come in, you get your machine, you have an ID. An ID is attached to every machine, whether you're using it for your personal use or you want to share it with friends. Because some persons just want to get the machine, but somehow somebody comes into your house and encounters the water. And just like I said, my friends came in yesterday and they are, wow, we're liking the water. If I want to them travel today, went with 15 liters of the water back to Ife, okay, another state, to take to, because it's just that I like what I'm experiencing. Now, some of them while experiencing the water can come back and they say, you know what, I want to buy the machine. Now, they serve as your indirect sales because they buy the machine. Those are your indirect sales. But they also have their own circle of influence. They reach out to those ones want to experience the water, buy the machine. Those are indirect sales. When you add up your direct sales plus your indirect sales, now you have a group sale. Now, let's show you, because the company has a provision that covers over 10 ways of rewarding you. 100% optional. You can be drinking your water and be singing Kumbaya. But hey, as I let people get to know about the benefit of what this water is doing, the problems we are solving, and how we're impacting life and humanity, the company says we have different ways to reward, but let's focus on one of it tonight. We call it the 8A or the 8-point commission. How does that work? Let's take a case study of our flagship product, the SD501. Now, it's 4 million in Nigeria. It's 4,837,500. Now, Energy already allocated a preset budget of 2 million naira per sale for the distributors. Now, this 2 million naira is being split into 8 parts. So if you divide 2 million by 8, you will be having 250,000 naira per piece. So 1A is equal to 250,000. So it's like a pizza wheel. Every pie you take is 250,000 naira. I hope you are following me. As a matter of fact, please, if you are still here and you are following me and I'm still loud and clear, give me a 1 in the chat. Let me know you are hearing me loud and clear so that we don't run and people are not following. Let me just have one feedback if you are still here. I see that yes coming in. Thank you very much, Zimama. That's a 1. Oh, Philomena, that's a 1. Okay, beautiful. So thank you for interacting and being fasting to listen to what we are saying. So this is how it works. You come in, you get your device. The first sale you make, you get to earn 250,000 naira. It's called 1A. Your second sale is 250,000 naira. So you are placed as what the company referred to as a 1A rank associate or distributor for selling 2 machines. So your first 2 sales, it doesn't matter who you are, your first 2 sales will fall under your 1A rank. Now, the very moment you make your third direct sales, that can count as a 2A for you if you choose. So, and now you are being paid 500,000 naira for your third sale. So you've made 3 sales and you've made 1 million naira. You are drinking the water, your family members are drinking the water, you are helping solve the problems we've listed, and here you are, an extra 1 million naira is paid to you because 3 of your friends just got the machine. Can you see how you are recovering back your money? It's like getting your machine down to 0. Because once you don't have 10 cumulative sales in your organization, or perhaps the 3 people, or perhaps you sold directly to 10 persons, once you have 10 people cumulative sales done, with your next direct sales, you activate a 3A rank. Rather than pay you 500,000, they pay you 750,000. Why 750,000? Every new rank is an added 250, a quarter of a million naira, 250,000 naira. So a 3A rank with your next direct sale gives you 750,000 naira. You become a 4A rank when you have 20 cumulative group sales. Please be clear, it's not fresh 20 sales made is a continuation from the 10. So perhaps the 10 of them went also spoke to 10 friends who each bought a machine. You have 20 sales. Your next direct sales after that will place you as a 4A. Now you are earning ₦1 million per sale of this machine. You can become a 5A when you have 50 cumulative sales in your organization. So you are earning ₦1,250,000, and you can become a 6A when you have 100 cumulative sales. Again, not fresh 100 sales. This is a continuation from the 50. Remember, there is no flushing, there is no timeline. If you don't do it in 30 days, if you don't do it in 1 year, if you don't do it in 10 years, any year it accumulates to that. Now you become a 6A rank member. So this is beautiful. But let's flesh it and bring this home, because I always like to put things in perspective. Now, joining us tonight are lots of friends and family members who've joined us tonight. And I see a lot of people, but I will want to work here with Soje Anthony. So let me look at Soje Anthony. So Mr. Soje comes in and likes what he sees, buy himself a machine. And for buying a machine, he is using the water. His friends came around, they drank the water from his house, and they are getting benefits. And they said, hey, tell me about this. How can I get the machine? He said, well, this is how you get the machine, but you can't go to the company. You need my referral to be able to do that. And well, long story short, Mr. Soje, okay, let's call it SA for short. So SA sells a machine to Tom. Now, Tom will be under his 1A because that's the first sale. So SA would have earned 250,000 naira, because your first sale, you earn 250,000 naira. Well, SA reaches out, sells a second machine to Shade. Shade, your first two persons are 1A. So basically, that's another 250,000 naira for SA. Now, SA is excited, reaches out, sells a machine to MM. Being the third person, placed as his 2A, that's 500,000. So SA has sold 3 machines, and SA has just made ₦1 million, still drinking his water. But Tom sees the value of this, talks to Grace. SA is not involved, sells a machine to Grace. You know what? SA will earn 250,000 naira. Grace reaches out, sells a machine to Pearl. SA will earn 250,000 naira. Pearl reaches out to his own circle of influence, sells to Arthur. SA will still earn 200. Now, what I want to see is the leverage income here, because SA is not involved in this sale. SA might not even know that Pearl had just sold the machine to Arthur, but SA gets to receive payment of 250,000 naira. Why? Pearl told somebody about the machine. Now, this will be an exciting news and music to the ears of SA. Now, SA says, if this is the case, let me go one more, and talks to Eno. Well, Eno will be on a 2A. Somebody said, why not 3A? For you to be on a 3A, you need 10 sales. So this is 7 sales. As long as the 7 sale is sub 10, remember that's a 2A. So a 2A commission is 500,000 naira. But here we see that Eno is also a catalyst who comes in, reaches out to Ali, Abu, and Annie. Now, why Eno sells to Ali? Eno makes 250,000 naira for selling to Ali. That's her first sale. But guess what? SA, who only brought Eno, who brought Ali, will still earn 500,000 naira. What? Yes. Eno sells to Abu, the second sale, so Eno will earn 250,000, but SA, Soje Anthony, will earn 500,000. Eno sells to Annie, the third sale, placed under her 2A. So now Eno will earn 500,000 naira. But guess what? SA, who didn't make this sale, will also make 500,000 naira. Who will not fall in love with this? Because your traditional system, you only earn more from the people you brought indirectly. As it begins to go down, it begins to go to zero. But this is SA earning from the work of Eno. The same 500,000 he got when Eno came in, getting it from Ali, Abu, and Annie. But unknown to him, something is cooking. Because if he calculates now, he has 10 sales. Now that he has seen the 10 sale, he can add a direct sale. And anybody that comes in directly after your 10th sale is a 3A sale. Now that's 750,000 naira. So SA has just opened up a 750,000 naira earning shop account, leg, business. How does this plays out? Annie goes to work, sells a machine to Bob. Guess what? SA will earn 500,000. Annie reaches out, sells a machine to Ben, SA will earn 500,000. Annie reaches out, sells a machine to Bob, SA will earn 500,000. Bob sells a machine to Joe. Look at the generations down. Guess what? SA will still earn 500,000. Bob sells a machine to Jack. SA will earn 500,000. Bob sells a machine to John. SA will earn 500,000. Have you noticed if we count from the John up, we have 10 sales here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 sales have been done under Eno alone. That is 5 million naira under the Eno sales. Mind you, Eno is on a 2A. is also on a 2A. What happens if is to replicate what Eno is doing? That's another 5 million naira coming for Ese. Ese is still drinking his water. The family is drinking the water. What happens if Shade, who has not even moved, begins? Tom and the gang have even paused. Chooks have not even begun. Even the Eno structure is the army team and genealogy that is moving, because what is happening with Annie can also be replicated by Abu and Ali. What do you think? This is just 6 million naira. Abu can create 6 million and much more. Guys, this is what we truly call the drink and grow rich system, because I know what is in the mind of SA is to be able to jump to the next rank, moving from 20 sales to from 10 sales to 20 sales. Now, what do you think is happening? He's a 4A rank member, and now a ₦1 million store channel of stream of income have just been opened. Who wouldn't love this? Again, I know SA will be somebody that is driven, ambitious, and wants to work with the team. Before you know, 50 sales are made, and once 50 sales are made, we have like Ayo here, we now have a 5A rank commission. So what are we seeing here is the fact that this is possible because the entire team is working together, and 1.25 million. And when you have 100 sales by the entire team, everybody is counting for you. Now you're earning 1.5 million naira. So any sale from the 101 to infinity is a 1.5 million naira coming for SA. So in the month of November, I say perhaps it's already a 6A, makes 10 sale, just made 15 million naira. Those 10 people all sold one machine, SA makes another 15 million naira. What happens to the other generations and multiples in between? Guys, this is crazy. And the company says, we're not stopping there. That is, remember, this is a patented compensation plan. You become a 6A. Apart from all of that, we give you 3,000 US dollars. The very day you help 2 of your team members, direct or indirect, in 2 different structures to become 6A, meaning they've sold 100 machines like you, hey, you are a 6A too. You are gifted with $6,000 one-off commission. Now, this doesn't stop, because for all of this to happen, it means activities are happening under those various legs. And now, help 2 of your team members to become 6A2 like you. Now, you become a 6A2-2. Now, this is how we call it. This is how we the nomenclature. Some other companies will say gold, silver, platinum, diamond. No, this is how we rank it here. 6A2-2, you are gifted $12,000. The very day you are able to help 2 team members, direct or indirect, who are passionate because they are also getting the result you are getting, and they become 6A2-2, you become a -3. -3 comes with $25,000 one-time bonus and $5,000 commitment for life, earning for life. Every month. For the last 30 years, this has been running. People are hitting it every month. Just for becoming a 6A2-3, $25,000 is given to you, $5,000 minimum every month. Now, this is not your commissions, guys. This is just a bonus given to you. We call that legacy rank. Multiply. Today, I saw that dollar is 1,745 or 1,750 today. So multiply that, and you see at least you're making over you're making over 8 million naira, if that were to be the case, every month, extra on top of the other things, which are huge, because you could be on a 6A leg, 5A leg, the millions and all of that. It's mind-blowing. You go to a dash 4, they gift you $50,000, move you now to $10,000 monthly. You go to a dash 5, they give you $100,000, and now they put you $15,000 monthly. Guys, all of these things are happening. It tells you those various legs are actually vomiting lots of cash into your bank account. This is why we call this the drink and grow rich, because while you are drinking, you are also growing rich. Remember, whether you are a doctor, you drink water. You are a lawyer, you drink water. You are a pastor, after you finish preaching, you drink water. You are an imam, after you finish your Friday prayers, you drink water. Everybody drinks water. And we have a project that can help people earn as much as this. We have people on a dash 6, $200,000, $20,000 monthly. We already have people on a dash 7. The rank does not end. When you have 2 persons on your dash 7, you go to a dash 8. People already in dash 7, $40,000 every month. That is not your commission. That's just, they call that education allowance. And it's, remember, we said we have 10 ways. We're just talking about 1, 2 now. Guys, this is mind-blowing. And the company began something 3 weeks ago. They call it direct sales campaign promotion. Now, Mr. Oshiro, the founder of this company, pulled out $2 million and kept it and said, I want a promotion where if you're able to make 3 sales in 7 days, you are going to be rewarded. This is not part of this. Remember, the compensation plan cannot be changed, but they're looking for ways to give out more. So, for example, Fatima Ibro goes out and sells 3 Kangen 8 machines. Removing the VAT, the tax, and all the logistics on the Kangen 8 machine, the price of the machine is 5.8 million naira. So they're using that price. So if you sell 3 Kangen 8 3K8 machine, that will give you 17.4 million naira. They are going to pay Fatima Ibro 6% of that, and that's 1,061,400. But mind you, for selling each machine, Fatima would have also earned commission, because on your K8, you don't earn 250,000, you earn 325,000. Your second person is 325,000. So 2 sales, you've already done 650,000. With your third sale, that's another 650,000. So you've done 3 sales, you've done 1.3 million naira. And now the company is, hey, on top of your 1.3 million naira, we are gifting you another 1,061,000. Guys, who wouldn't love this? Within 7 days of building this. Now, it mustn't be a K8. It can be an SD501. It can be a K8. It can be an SD501. It can be any other product. As long as you have 3 sales within 7 days, they accumulate that and they pay you 6% of that as an additional until that $2 million, I beg your pardon, is exhausted. And the upline also get 5% of that. So it's amazing. So what do you do right now? Please use the product. You must be a product of the product. My friends that came yesterday drank the water. I mean, I said he took 15 liters today with him. He said, I need to tell people about this water, what I've just experienced. Use the product. Now refer the product to others. That's how Madam Fumi, who you see with the bottle, she's the first person to join me on this project. I always like to promote her, because sometimes some people give you validity. Maybe I wouldn't have, maybe I would have, but even though I had my own personal results that motivated me, but I told her about it. She came, took the water to the uncle, and the uncle loved what he was seeing with the water, called her about a week later and said, this machine and this water, where are you getting it from? So I said, how much is it? 3,000 euro. Gave her 3,000 euros cash, and she came to get the machine for the uncle. Now that was validation. So you can use the product. Before you know, you are gathering customers, and before you know, some of them are coming back to buy the machine. David Umana Kufrebasi, just about 8 weeks ago or thereabout, he joined the Zoom like this. About 8 weeks ago, joined the Zoom for the first time. Join on a Wednesday, on a Thursday. I told him, meet me at the office, because tomorrow, God willing, 11 a.m. Nigerian time, I will be at 105 Adeni Jones in Ikeja. That's the company's corporate head office. I'll be there to speak 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. So if you have people, send them in there. So he came along, listened some more, got to experience the water, and he kept at it, and just 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, September 30th, he bought himself a K8. They use the product, refer the product to others. Before you know, they are also coming in to buy. And now you are building a team. So it's very, very simple. But what is mind-blowing are the everyday testimonies that we are having. On Monday, I woke up and I almost cried because when I woke up, I was actually having my prayers and my studies, and my phone kept ringing. My phone kept ringing, and until I'm done, I don't. And again, sorry, it's not a rule for you, but it's just me. I don't talk to anybody until I'm done talking with God. So if you call me a billion times, I may not pick up, because I've got to talk to somebody who probably can give me the strength and the courage to be able to talk to you in case there is a challenge. So that's my philosophy. That's how I practice my own faith. I talk to God every morning, then I reach out to the rest of the world. So I found out my phone was buzzing and she was calling. And when I was done, I returned the call. How are you? She started, there is good news. There is good news. And she started crying. What's happening? You know what? You better hear it from the horse's mouth. Z Mama, are you on this call? Because that story blew my mind. Z Mama, you can unmute if you are still on this call, and let's get to know what happened with Joseph.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Chairman. I trust we are all good and our day is still going well. As always, mine is wonderful and fantastic. This story, this testimony is personally very emotional to me, and that was even the main reason I cried uncontrollably that day, because the first time I got to know about this story, it was the same way I cried when my daughter told me about this very fine young boy in them finishing their SS class, and that was even when he opened up to them that he has, or he had leukemia, which is cancer of the blood. And hearing the story that came after it was even what made me cry more, because they were actually contributing money for their graduation cake with him. And that day he broke this bad news, very depressing, demoralizing news to them, that he needed to give them back the money because his doctor said he will not live long because of the ailment. And if you knew him before then, it was already telling on him, because he was looking chubby at some before that time, and very lively. I have his video, I have his pictures. So that he said at that point that he needed to give them the money because he didn't know when he would pass. And listening to this, who could this doctor be to even let this boy know about this kind of horrible story? Because my daughter is 17 plus and my daughter is even older than him. So I tried to get involved. At that time, it was about the same period I started buying water for other persons. I didn't have the machine. So I volunteered to buy the 11.5 and 9.5 for him. But surprisingly, he turned down the offer, and I tried and tried. I kept on trying. He did not agree. And my daughter said, Mommy, God knows your mind. You have tried enough. Just allow him. Since he did not want to take it, I said, well, but I was not still, I didn't give up on him. Because the last one was that I already bought the 11.5, 20 liters and 9.5, no, 11.5, 10 liters and 9.5, 20 liters. So you know what the cost of that. But I didn't get angry. I just understood that it's a child. He didn't even know the depth of the whole scenario that he was in. So I allowed him. Few weeks down the line after that issue of declining, one morning my daughter rushed back to me. Mommy, that her classmate has just sent a message that if her mommy would still agree to give him water. I said, what happened? What changed? She told me that his case had deteriorated. At that point, he was already vomiting blood on daily basis. He had already come down seriously. He even took a picture of himself. He wore his school uniform. And if you know him and you saw that picture, you'll be sad. I said, why not? My daughter already even agreed that I will give him before she came to me. I said, fine. And that was how the journey started. We started giving him 11.5 and 9.5. And I also told him that stop anything sugar and coke, because cancer loves acid and sugar. And he said, okay, no problem. But the very first day we gave him the water, the next day, towards evening, he called my daughter to say, this water is working. That since yesterday, after taking the water, he had not vomited blood and he was beginning to regain his strength. I said, wow, just continue. So I made sure that the water does not finish. We kept on giving him water every time. Even when I was not around, when I traveled, I still directed them that any moment he needed water, they should make the water available for him. So this came so fast for me. Just that Monday morning, I woke up because my daughter had gone back to school and she called, Mommy, how long does Kangen water take for somebody to heal? I said, what kind of question is that? I said that she wants to know. She wants to know. I said, what is it? He said, Joseph just told her that he has been healed. I said, how? She said, that he went to see his doctor and as usual, they run the test. And mind you, since he started taking this water, is it about 3 months now? Or about 2 months plus, not actually 2 months. I've gone to see him twice. He's always looking better. And he even dropped something on his status one time. I also have that one. I also have the ones that he sent messages about him getting better, him not vomiting again. So if he sends my daughter forward the message to me that if you finally make it in life, who is that one person that you will never forget? And he put my daughter's name under it. So one of their classmates called my daughter to say, why is this guy putting this and calling your name? Tell me what is going on. That one said there is nothing, but we already know why he said that. So one more thing, guess what? Nobody knows this child is taking this water, not even in their house, not anywhere. Because first of all, there's a woman that has stroke and is diabetic, and the daughter told me about it. I personally went to Woji, got water for the mom, took it to her office. This lady, I speak to her. We have been talking. I've never met her. And I dropped the water for her. And she sent this water to her mom. Her mom lives in Oyibo. Guess what? 2 weeks down the line, she called me that see what was going on. I said, what? He said that the mom went to see the physiotherapist that day, and the doctor was already acknowledging the fact that the woman was looking better. And the woman said, yes, I can now sleep. I'm sleeping better. I can move my body better. All thanks to one water like that. So my daughter sent to me from Port Harcourt. Since I started taking that water over 1 week ago, I'm sleeping better. I have more energy and all of that. And guess what? The doctor said, no, 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 no. You have to stop it. It will obstruct the treatment. And it came to me like, what? And this lady, she was confused, to say the least, because her brother who takes the mom for checkup said, since doctor has said this, some person's mentality, since doctor has said it, they have to stop the water first. Okay, the same water this doctor had acknowledged even before you open your mouth to tell him why you are looking better and you are feeling better. So with that ugly experience, because I see it as a kind of him trying to stop his own money or whatever, but for me, it's satanic. For you to see something that is getting somebody better and you say it's obstructing treatment. What treatment? So with that ugly experience, since this boy is getting better, we say, okay, just keep it to yourself for now. And that is how we have been running. So for this to come this fast, not even up to 3 months, to get this news, I got so emotional. I say, how? He say, yes, that when the doctor said he cannot find cancer in his blood anymore. And this is a boy, even when he was
Oh my God. I hope we are not losing Zim. Zim, Mama, are you there? Can you say the network has? Okay. Zim, Mama, your mic is muted.
So when he said, the doctor told me this, I couldn't help myself. I was just crying. I couldn't, that day, all my appointments. No, my mic is not muted. Maybe you can't hear me. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, so I couldn't help myself. I couldn't stop crying. I called my other brother. I tried to reach Chairman. Chairman was not picking. It even increased my cry. I called Leader T. None of them were picking my call. So I became like a baby trying to complain and nobody's listening. So I just kept crying. I couldn't help it, but thank God that it was cry of gratitude, tears of gratitude, tears of joy. So as I speak right now, I'm going to meet him tomorrow to see him, because I told me he's not even around now. So I told him that I need to see him. I need to hear more from him. And he even told me, send the message to my daughter that he doesn't need the water anymore. I say, wow. So it's been really, really awesome. There's no expression that can actually express the way I feel in my spirit, aside from saying, God, thank you. And for every strength in me, I said it that this is not just a business. For me personally, that I've known this machine since the last 2 years, and I said now, like, it's criminal. I've actually or practically stopped people who should have benefited from this machine through me. So just in 3 months, my colleague's mom, who they already gave up on her, they said her heart was failing, her legs swollen, she was unconscious. That was where this journey started, from 5 liters. And that was how I started going to get water for people on daily basis. I stay at Igruta. I drive to Woji. If you know Port Harcourt, you know the distance between Woji and Igruta. On daily basis, the people who were in BMH that saw the miracle, with the woman every day. Please buy for me, my neighbors, my friends. Ikenga Glory is on this call. Well, the mom, the same thing. She wasn't, the moment she started drinking just 10 liters, before she got another one, I got a call that she was working on her own. I said, no, let me see her by myself. And we went to her house. And I said, Mama, is it true that you can walk by yourself? And she said, yes. And we stood with Madam Glory Kinga. We said, Mama, walk to us. Let's see. And she stood up and walked to us, and she walked back. You can imagine my colleague's mom, that they've given up on her, heart failing, leg swollen, and all of that. Today, the woman is hale and hearty. Everybody is happy. And now this young child, and he's an orphan. And maybe that is why I'm more emotional. He doesn't have mother, he doesn't have father. So, and I see to myself, I feel guilty that, wow, I don't know what 2 years not saying yes to this business, how many lives that would have been saved through me. So please, I'm just saying this in advance, like I said it on the group, that if you see me doing this business like Chris, I'm trying to meet up the people that needed to know this. 2 years loss. So for me, is evangelism. For me, is a purpose. For me, is a dream come true. For me, is everything. I can't thank God enough. And I can't thank you enough, Chairman, Leader T, for believing that Z Mama can do something through this. And if I have to do it again, I'll do it now 1,000,000 times. Thank you for your
Awesome.
time. We
Awesome.
can do much with this.
Amazing, amazing. You just needed to see how she was just crying uncontrollably. I mean, you know a mother's heart. And that's that to tell you it's not about just making money, it's about transforming life. To see somebody who was being given up on, somebody vomiting blood, and next thing they say, we can't find the cancer, we can't see it again. I mean, she was just all emotional and just crying and sobbing. This is why we do this. This is why we do this. And while we're on this, we could see LOP, Elo Ogbonnaya, just posted something on the group, talking to somebody. He said, is that the something? He said, yeah, Elo, how far with my result? He said, okay, I will be with you before the end of the day. Okay, the pain in my knee reduced even after dancing and praising God at night. The numbness on my toes reduced. I think over time, I shall have the desired effect. I said, Kangen water puts your body in a state to heal itself. These are the kind of testimonies we are hearing. Thank you so very much, Z Mama, for actually sharing that heart-moving story. Ladies and gentlemen, do you think again that device is expensive? No. Your purpose will make you reach the right people. Your purpose will make, and she was doing this thing without charging because she was just after that result. This is the heart of a leader. I want to say thank you very much. This is why we truly say, when you change your water, you will change your life. Remember, I stated, don't let something bad happen to a loved one before you change your water. Tonight, for the rest of this year, for the rest of your life, help more people to change their water so that they can change their life. If you're a guest on this call or you are watching the replay, the recording, I encourage you to get back to the person who shared this video with you or who invited you to this live call so that they can show you how to get this innovative water technology. Like I always say, nobody was born to win. Nobody was born to lose. You were born to choose. And thank God that Joseph chose, because at first, just like Dr. Michael, remember Dr. Michael rejected the water. Joseph rejected the water. Nobody was born to win. Nobody was born to lose. But immediately, they made a switch to choose. Thankfully, they choose life. This is why we so run with this project. Again, my name is Solomon James. I want to truly appreciate you for being a part of this call. We do this every Wednesday. We do this every Friday. And we'll be having a physical meeting tomorrow, Thursday, at the Lagos office. I want to really say thank you for being a part of this. If you do have any question, I will take just 1 more minute to answer your question. But other than that, we will be calling it a night, because I truly believe this tonight's meeting, just this testimony, is what is weight in gold. That this project truly is transforming lives. God bless you.